Dude, I gotta tell you, my mom, she's, first off, she's a good cook. But she has become so, I don't want to say frugal. I don't know what word is to use. But let me give you an example, okay? We ordered from the sushi restaurant. When I picked it up for takeout and brought it home, okay? She had already set the placemats. She was reusing chopsticks that they had gotten from an earlier sushi order. So the chopsticks were from a takeout order that they got before. Fair enough. That's good. You know, you're reusing things. You know why she had the leftover chopsticks is probably because the time that they got that order, she was using leftover chopsticks from like an earlier time. So they've got like an endless like chopstick surplus that they're constantly going. Then we ate off the old chopsticks, which is totally fine. I said, "What do you want me to do with these chopsticks?" She said, "Just put them in the sink. We'll wash them." Okay, so these chopsticks have now been used like multiple times and washed. I said, "What do you want me to do with the chopsticks that the sushi restaurant gave us this time?" She said, "Oh, you can just put those straight in the drawer." I said, "What?" And then I said, "What do you want me to do with like the plastic container that my chicken teriyaki came in?" She said, "Oh, I'll wash it." And I said, "You're going to wash it and put it in the recycling?" She said, "No, I'll wash it and then I do meal prep and I'll put some like of my meal prep into the plastic container." And at this point, I was looking at what was going on, and she actually created like a zero waste meal. But then she was like, "Can I show you something?" And she has a pantry, and in the pantry she had like 50 washed takeout containers and lids and stuff like that. And I was like, "What are you even doing with this? Like, you can't." Like every time you order at a restaurant, you're actually getting like a surplus of dishes, and you don't like you're not going on a hike or something like that where you're gonna need to pack this stuff. She said, "If you think that's bad, this is only like a third of what I used to have." I said, "What happened to the other 2/3?" And she said she donated them to the Salvation Army. She took the takeout containers and washed them out with soap and water and then donated them to the thrift store. And I said, "Who's going to buy the garbage at the thrift store?" And she said, "There's people that do like food prep that that need the containers." She's not really hoarding. Like, she doesn't have like walls full of this stuff. But I was like, man, it was getting a little crazy. Like, sometimes you could, if you're like on vacation, you're like, "Hey, let me like reuse this stuff so that because we don't have plates and cutlery and stuff like that." And I was like, "This is your house and you do it every time. So you got like you literally can't eat out because every time you eat out, you need like a bigger house to fit the stuff that you got from takeout." I was just picturing like someone at the Salvation Army opening like a cardboard box full of like old takeout containers and then throwing them in the garbage or something like that. I don't know what I don't think they would put them on the floor, but maybe it makes her happy. Like and I mean it is good to reuse. I'm not insulting. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not insulting my own mom. I'm just saying like it was very funny. It was very foreign for me, for sure. Maybe you should buy her some Tupperware. Bro, listen to the story I just told you. She's got tons of Tupperware. Like that's the thing is like I don't know. She'd have to go through all of her Tupperware would have to be used before she would even think about using the. Sure, go ahead and take it. But before she would even think about using the reused takeout containers. But now she's. I don't. Listen, it's my mom. It's funny. I enjoyed it. She got a kick out of me making fun of her over it, I hope. And she was cooking like crazy. We ordered from a Greek place, we had a lot of family over. So it came with some ribs. It came with a whole chicken. Came with a bunch of like Greek potatoes. Came with rice pilaf. Came with tzatziki. Came with like, all sorts of stuff. A bunch of like souvlaki skewers, right? When the food came, she, what's the word I'm looking for? Sequestered. She sequestered the chicken, and then we never saw it. That's fine. I ate some souvlaki, I ate the rice pilaf, I ate the body yada yada. Later, she says, guess what I'm going to do with that whole chicken? And I said, what? She said, I'm going to make chicken pot pie soup. So she took the whole chicken from the meal that we ordered, broke it down, made a soup with it. So already we're at like a huge meal for people and then like a meal prep for the future. Then she served us the soup like the day that we left. She had like 2 little spoonfuls left in the bottom of her bowl. She said, does anybody want this? I said, nah, I think I'm full. She said, you know what I'm going to do? She opened up the fridge. She got a Tupperware container full of chicken pot pie soup that she had made before, and she poured the soup into the Tupperware. She was like, I'm not going to waste this soup. I'm telling you, she's running like, it's like Mouth's oxygen not included colony. She's like zero waste. It's her house. What am I supposed to say? It's moral, you know? She's doing... Oh, it's round 5. Sorry. I'd like to apologize. She's doing like a good thing. It's just something I would not be willing to do personally. Ooh. Didn't you score a 0 on the food hygiene test? It's not a food hygiene test. It was a food sensitivity test. I didn't score a 0. I scored a imperceptible. I'm not knocking the cleanliness of it. It was more just like, holy cow.